this. So, TSM crafting groups. When you're crafting things to sell in the auction house, particularly old world transmog, you run into a bit of a problem. And I will demonstrate this problem by doing this. You come in here to your TSM groups, you click on blacksmithing. This is selecting all of the things that I can craft with blacksmithing. You click on restock groups. You look down here, 4.2 million gold profit, that's amazing. You get super excited. Then you go hit the gather button. You hit start gathering. Okay. Things are getting a little bit ridiculous now. This is a huge list. Now I know it's inflated because this is saying you go to the guild vault 10 times for the same items. But the one we really want to look at down here is this auction house thing. And if we look at what we need to buy from the auction house, like, okay, 254 Titan steel bars. I doubt there's even 254 Titan steel bars on the auction house. Where's the Sarnite bars? Because I know that one is just like off the freaking charts as well. Is it not even on here? Yeah, there it is. I need 1.3k Sarnite bars. Ridiculous. You're the gold streamer. Isn't it your job to find out if it's worth it? Oh, you mean like for gold purposes? I don't know, maybe. I was more thinking like if I want to keep my warrior at 110 so that I can farm transmog with it more effectively, but I don't know about that. I guess that's what I was kind of more referring. I can't imagine it would be worth it for gold making though. So yeah, here's the problem. This is the problem right here. You've got this enormous shopping list. Okay, so how do we fix this? Well, the answer might be obvious if you've noticed my vanilla crafting groups here, but how I decided to approach the problem was to instead kind of divide things down into their components. So for all of vanilla is a good place to start because there's so many different types of bars and just materials in general in vanilla. So if I go through, I can restock my groups one at a time. Right now, it doesn't look like I need to restock copper, so that's not a great example. But here, instead of trying to find 4 million gold worth of things to craft. Okay, here's 3 things. I can hit the gather button, and I can see, alright, I can go to the guild bank for the medium leather, and then I just need to buy shadow gems, bronze bars, coarse grinding stones, iridescent pearls, and swiftness potions. It's a lot more manageable. Now, the other important thing that's a little more subtle that this helps with is if you... Okay, so let's say, for example, there aren't any swiftness potions on the auction house, which could be very likely. That means that I'm not going to be able to craft one of these items. Now, if you've got this enormous list of things, right, there's bound to be things on this list that you're not going to be able to craft because the materials just simply don't exist in the game. So, how are you going to, like, parse that out? How are you going to figure that out? Like, you can't manage this much in your head. So, by narrowing things down to just one group at a time, you can just look at each of these and say, like, all right, here's where the 2 swiftness potions are coming in. If I'm not going to be able to make those, then I can just ignore the stuff on here that I need. So I don't need the 4 shadow gems, I don't need the 8 bronze bars, I don't need the 4 medium leather. So you can kind of like parse that out and then just buy the stuff you need. So it's a little bit easier way to be more efficient, more effective with your crafting. Then you just kind of keep working your way down. Do the silver. Okay, don't need to restock silver. Do the iron. A couple things for iron. Again, there's some kind of... Vanilla's got all kinds of funky materials, man. Like, what the heck is a lesser moonstone? Well, it's a gem from vanilla. So that's the basic idea. And another place where this really comes in handy is with tailoring, particularly. So I have these Mooncloth, Primal Mooncloth, Shadowcloth, and Spellcloth under a CDs category because back in the day, these were like a daily cooldown. There's no more cooldown on them, but they still are a pain in the butt to make because they require so many primals. And if you know anything about Burning Crusade high-end crafting, you know that primals are tough to come by. Like, we've got the cost here still. Like, these primals still sell for like 500, 600 gold. Per individual one. Like, that's still a lot because, like, who's going out to farm this stuff? Nobody is. So anyone who does have it's going to charge a premium for it. So yeah, in order to restock one of each of the items that I have that require the 3 cloths, it would take a lot of stuff, and I don't know. So by having these broken down a little bit, you can sort of like do things where, okay, I'm just going to work on Mooncloth, and all right, I need 54 Primal Mooncloth. All right, I'm going to go figure out, okay, what do I actually need for the Mooncloth? Primal Mooncloth. moon, primal, and blacksmithing still, so that's not going to show up. But anyway, you kind of get the idea. Like, it's just easier to manage. And I understand, like, at some point, hopefully, I get to a point where I can literally hit all of blacksmithing, hit restock, and it comes up with like 10 things because I've got everything else stocked already. But until that day comes, which honestly I don't think it ever will, because we've got things like these mop, CD materials, like these weapons. Like, I don't know. I don't see that happening anytime soon. So for now, we're gonna keep this crazy group structure that I've got. Anyway, so and then to break it down a little bit more into how I actually do it. It's basically just by like the primary component materials. So for example, we just learned all these shade steel patterns from, you can't see the actual text for them because my face is in the way, but shade steel, all of these, their primary like bar component, because it's a blacksmithing recipe, is the adamantite bar. So it's going to go under the adamantite group. I mean, there's still primals involved. That's fine. We'll, kind of deal with that as it comes. Yeah, so I'm just going to add these all in here, and then they'll be added to my crafting stuff next time I decide I want to craft some Burning Crusade blacksmithing stuff. And we'll reopen the blacksmithing window in a moment so we can see the profit on this, but I'm guessing it's going to be a nice little addition to the overall potential profit that I can have. All right, let's look at shade steel. Yeah, so each of these things is anywhere from 17 to 25k profit. Wait, 25k for these bracers? Come on. Yeah, okay. Sometimes it lies a little bit. I don't know exactly how this profit is. I guess the profit's calculated by like the market value minus the crafting cost. That makes enough sense, but you gotta take it with a grain of salt. But hey, it is pretty exciting. This guy was what? I'm so bad at remembering what I literally just said. Oh man. Cool. So there you go. That's that item checked off the list. What's the strike through? No.